Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today for a cherry on top to share with you this Christmas layout. So I am working with Vicki Boutin's Christmas Mistletoe and Memories collection. I have a lot of it. And then there is a coordinating Sizzix Stamps and Framelets stamp and die set from 49th and Market that is called, I believe it's Baubles. So I am using the stamps and some of the 6x8 patterned papers, sort of more of the tone-on-tone ones, to create 3 additional ornaments for the top of my layout. So I am stamping in just black, and then I'm going to put a few additional sort of decor pieces. You can see I did that tone on tone with that green there. And then that's all I'm going to do, because I was going to stamp on the Merry, 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 the red, but you weren't going to really see it unless I stamped in black. See, I primed the stamp for it. I'm like, no. And then I try the yellow and I'm like, no. So I put it on a piece of white cardstock. And I don't believe I end up using that. I thought I was going to put it on the yellow once I die cut it out, but it didn't really work for me. So I do use the stamp on the yellow. Just coordinating cardstock. You can see that that is scrap that I have there, but I don't love that either. And so, you prep yourself for having more than you need so that you don't have to go back and do it again. And in order to get everything on my Big Shot plate all at one shot, I cut it all out. I could run each piece of paper through, but that would be laborious. So easier to just get everything all in one shot. What I absolutely love about these dies is that they aren't strong enough that they shift and I have to tape them down. I tend to work very fast, and so I have very limited patience and don't wait for the ink to dry. And when you use washi, it pulls up the ink oftentimes. So this is perfect that they just stay nicely nestled there. They don't shift, and I am good to go. So those are the ornaments and potential decor to go with them. Then I want some ornament toppers, and I love that this stamp set comes with the ornament toppers as well. So there are 19 stamps and 11 dies that come in this super awesome collection by 49th and Market. Super, super awesome. Yep. I've said that before. I'll say it again. So 3 different types of ornament toppers. I have all 3 because it's just easier to do that. So I'm using a piece of the coordinating tone-on-tone cardstock to mat this piece of I call them pine boughs. I'm not sure that they are. Yes, I think they are. So I'm trimming an inch off of each side so that I have an inch border on each side. I am going to warn you, I wish I had used, I'm going to have to go back in and use liquid adhesive, because 49th and Market papers are super, 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 super heavy. And I store my layouts vertically. And then once they go into an album, obviously they are vertical as well. And the pine bough piece keeps dropping down to the bottom of the page protector. It's not actually in a page protector yet. Probably won't be till next year, knowing me. But, so I have these 2 photos of Mia and I decorating gingerbread. We made gingerbread houses. It was really hard last Christmas to find gingerbread kits, I thought. We usually get them from Costco or Trader Joe's. So I'll have to remember to be on the hunt early for them and just hold on to it. I ended up getting this one from Whole Foods, and I actually really liked it. Probably wasn't the cheapest, but it's a tradition, and gotta keep up those traditions, especially while these kids are growing and willing to participate in these things. So I'm going to hang my ornaments from partially the pine boughs, partially just from the top of the layout up there. I have a mix of the 3 that I stamped, as well as 3 that are part of the ephemera pack that come with, well, multiple ephemera packs. I literally got all the stuff except for the laser cuts. Not a huge fan of the laser cuts. Again, this is also super thick, and so you have to be very careful as you are cutting. I think it's a lot harder to fussy cut when it's thick cardstock like this is. So I really don't like those white borders, especially sitting in the pine boughs themselves. It's sort of, they meld into the layout a little less. So I am trimming away those white borders. It seems to be something that I do a lot of lately, trimming away white borders. So, yep. I did the other 3 off camera to spare you the agony of having to watch that. And I like the way that that looks. So now I'm going to add to that middle tier there at the top of the photo, as well as put something, just a small little something at the bottom of the photo to kind of wrap the layout up. So while there's no visual triangle here, your eye definitely is caught by the ornaments at the top, then by the title that will come underneath, then the journaling that goes on that index card, and then down to the bottom through the photos and down to the bottom to that just little hint of red that's there. There kind of actually is a visual triangle. It's created by the yellow elements. So you have those 2 yellow ornaments, and the title will be between those. And then you'll drop down to, it's actually the yellow spatula, and then there's also right next to that yellow spatula, there's a yellow star. So very simple visual triangle, but you'll see how that definitely guides your eye through the main major elements of the layout there. Some of these ornaments I am going to put up on foam for dimension. I like the way that the layers are created by having the overlapping, but you add to the depth of those layers by having the foam adhesive there. So this foam adhesive is from a Cherry on Top. I have it in 3 sizes. I have a 1/2 inch, a 1/4 inch, and a 3/4 inch, and I will tell you I use all 3 of them fairly regularly. It's nice to not have to trim down the foam, because it's you can do it as long as your scissors are clean. And the reason I'm laughing is because I actually just trimmed down a piece. When you have those the skinny thin lines of the ornament string, you kind of have to. There's no choice. There isn't one that comes, or I haven't found one that is 1/8 of an inch. And it's kind of silly in a way to have 1/8 inch, but yeah, I wanted that. So just trimming off the top there so that it's symmetrical all the way across is the edge of the page, and not playing tricks on your eye by not having it be all the way across. I think this is where I cut? No, this is some other fussy little piece that I get. You have to be careful when you're adding foam, because if you don't add foam all the way to a good decent amount of coverage, you do end up getting lumps and bumps in the page protectors. It's why I don't actually like buttons and the really skyscrapery kind of elements, because they provide too much bulk to the back of the page, which then dents the page behind it and the page opposite in the album. They had at some point these bumpers that you could put in to try and stop them from warping your pages, but I don't think anything ever came of them. So I had meant to put these rub-ons before I put the ornaments down and totally forgot. I just like the swag that's hanging, and I thought it added a little bit to the right hand side of the page where there aren't as many pine boughs. So I'm going to try and do that after the fact. It works. It's not perfect, but it works, and probably better that I used the gold than the black. And you can see where it ends there, right? But I have leftover from where that bow is. And so I just use that on the left-hand side, which closes up that gap, but it's not actually contiguous. It's not a consistent design throughout, but I don't know that you actually really notice that until I draw your attention to it, of course. I am going to tell you off camera, there are two. One is the acetate piece and one is a vellum piece that I'm going to use. One is right here underneath this red and yellow ornament. It's a bubble that says feeling happy. I like the lighter mint that brings to the page and ties in with the index card. It also fills that white space. Many of you who know my work know that I like white space and I try and preserve as much white space as I can, but it felt isolated. And you'll see what I mean once that title goes in. It's literally just this single pocket there, and it's actually kind of... It's too much. It's glaring, and it captures your attention more than anything else. And then the other piece that I'm going to put in is a piece of mistletoe, and that's the acetate, and that'll go to the right of that black scallop there, right there where I'm putting those dots in. It'll go to the right hand side of that, and it fills that space nicely with still preserving some of the white space. So that's going to wrap it up, my friends. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.